What's up, guys? Back again here. It is your boy JGiddins. I want to first off start off as usual by reminding everybody to make sure to be positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle. Those three things are very important to making sure that you have a positive moving forward in your life. What I wanted to focus on in today's video, I just wanted to upload a quick video as I was thinking about what it's like to be African American as a YangGang member. And I guess I should more specifically say what it's like to be black or African American in the United States as a YangGang member, or how me being or joining the YangGang relates to me being black or African American. Now, one of the things I want to share with people that is not necessarily always as widely known, or maybe like advertised to those who are outside of the black community, is that there's not a ton of love, right? So I feel like a lot of the reasoning behind why people don't understand some of the motives or some of the things that black people or colored people do is because they don't understand the inside, right? They don't understand what it's like, what we go through, and I don't just mean being shot by the police unarmed. I don't just mean not being able to get the same jobs because of your skin color, or being, having prejudice placed upon you, or racially motivated statements and things of that nature. I more so mean what has happened to us because of these things, right? And honestly, that is something that will require another video focusing on that alone, which I would title Remnants of Oppression, right? And we all know when I say oppression, I mean, segregation, just sort of the systematic events that are put in place to assure that colored people do not reach the level that others do. And it's a very touching topic, I'll be honest with you. But I just want to say that some of the results of the fact that these things exist are aggression, anger, lack of confidence. These are things that destroy a person, and these are things that in the African American community are sort of overlooked and just looked at as, that's just how they are, I've heard a lot of, white people, and again, I don't want to, broadcast this as a blanket statement. I'm not racist by far, right? I don't believe in racism. I think that racism and, being an idiot are sort of the same thing, because you can't be an intellectual. I don't think an intellectual can be a racist, although I've heard of and known many intellectuals that have been racist. But, point of the matter is, I've heard a lot of white people sort of say that's just how they are, or sort of just, see a black person and just think, oh, they steal because that's, that's what they do. That's what black people do. Or, they're angry and violent because that's what black people do, What I will say is that growing up in that type of an atmosphere is what drew me so, it made my connection to the YangGang so strong. If you go on Twitter and you take a look at my hashtag, which is jgiddinsforyang, right? You take a look at that hashtag and you'll see that the bond and the relationship that I have with the members of the YangGang is very strong, and it's because of the fact that family is not embraced by the black community as it is by others, and I'm not saying that to say that, because you see the movies, the Johnson's family, you see the movies where they have the family reunions, Medea's family reunion, and it is hyped up that black people are about, togetherness and family values and things of that nature. But I'm speaking to you from a real perspective, not TV, right? Family is not valued to the degree that it is by other nationalities or other races. And this is something that I've come to realize through conversation and through just experiences that I've had with those of other races. As I mentioned, the creator of this hat, Will Chang, is a good friend of mine who I've had some pretty involved conversations with, and it's opened my mind up to a lot of things as it relates to the differences between our ideologies, and some of the remnants of oppression that I mentioned have led to families, black families, not sort of getting along as they should, because we all know that there's strength in unity. If you talk to a lot of successful white people or people who are not colored, you can best believe, or you can bet that their family ties had something to do with a lot of their success, right? Whether it was what they learned from a family member, a platform that was set for them by another family member, the strength that they had from the other family member to fall back on when they were struggling. All those kind of things are just not prioritized within the black community. And again, a lot of it is because of the fact that we wake up in the morning feeling beat over the head. You understand? Like, the way that you feel when everything goes wrong for you, you lost your job, you lost your car, you have nothing, and you feel so helpless and hopeless and defeated, that is what it feels like to wake up in the morning, as a black person, okay? And I'm just being honest, and I want to make sure that I'm not falling into the line of victimization, because victimization, I feel, is one of, and I'm going to do a video on that because that also requires a long video to explain and validate that concept. So victimization is something I feel does hold my community back. A lot of us feel like, because of slavery or segregation, racism in general, something is owed to us, and that prevents you from sort of realizing what roles we play in the downward spiral of our communities, and I think that it at best acts as a deterrent, or at least acts as a deterrent, or causes people to digress their mindset from what it should be to improve, But I just digressed just now. My point of all of this is that the YangGang has managed to be there for me in ways that are, that rehabilitate things that I've been through. As a black male, I would really encourage you guys to watch the interview that I did. I did a radio interview that's on my page, and I would just recommend that you guys watch that. It'll explain a lot as it relates to how what I'm talking about can impact your life in a way that changes everything for you. And it just seemed as if the YangGang sort of was a cruise ship coming by as I was floating off in the water with my little floaty, not knowing what was going to happen in my life. And, the YangGang kind of rescued me and said, hey, this is what your purpose is, So I feel that I have a great purpose at this point. I'm one of the only people who is willing to take a step back outside of just myself and understand what the big picture is. What I want to do is explain, sort of, as I mentioned in another video, bridge the gap between whites and blacks, or bridge the gap between the African American society, or the and I won't just say blacks, because you have your celebrities that are black, you have your famous black people that sometimes are put into a box as black, but they don't have a strong connection with what the black that I'm describing is. That requires another video to further validate that entire concept, because that's a little bit deeper when I say there's different types of black, right? And some of them have been accepted, some black people have been pushed toward being accepted. This concept was explored by Paget, by the way. If you guys don't know Paget, watch her show, Cat Loves LA. She explored this in the realm of Asian perspective, in terms of wanting to be accepted and giving up who you are. But that's about all I got for you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to leave questions and comments down below. Visit patreon.com/jgiddins to find out how you can support this movement and keep this going. Thank you guys so much. I love you.